According to USA Baseball, they kind of changed the size of things. And this is, of course, according to LittleLeague.org. The minor and major leagues, they made the barrel smaller. Also in the intermediate and junior level, the barrel smaller and no BB core allowed. All bats must be BB core in the senior level. What is BB core? Can someone help me here?
BB core is like the regulation of how the ball comes off the bat, barrel efficiency, something like that.
Okay. So here inside Studio 42, we are the baseball experts. I promise you that. Yeah.
I mean, Kyle, call me Kyle. What does BB core stand for? But I know it's legit.
Hey, but we're not the experts of the all that
the
stuff.
bat, the equipment, and all that stuff.
Come on,
okay, but let me just say this. All right, why does it matter? Why do the details of a bat is a bat? Why is the weight and barrel size? Why is it? Really
So we went into the Grande League in professional baseball now, right?
Like, yes.
Yes.
So why does it matter? Is there that big of a difference if the barrel's smaller, longer? Players pay attention to all that stuff?
Yeah. Oh, it matters big time. You know, it's funny because, you know, some guys like a Chase Utley. Chase Utley swings a CU-26, I think Marucci, whatever, and he has a skinny barrel and a not a huge
skinny handle
and a skinnier barrel. But it's all kind of one thing. You look at this M356 right here from Chris Davis, the Baltimore Orioles. This is a skinnier handle, which when you have a skinnier handle, you can really feel your hands, but a top-heavy barrel. Right. And so it does matter. You know, you talk about the guys and their weights, that they're very specific on what they want and how they want them when the bat company send it to them.
Let's look at some of the best players in the game today. Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, Aaron Judge. What stands out in terms of the weight, the size of these bats?
What I love here is you look at Trout, 33.5 inch, 31.8. He wants his bats 31.8, not 31.9, not 32. So when he gets those bats delivered, there's a little scale in the clubhouse, and he puts them on him, and he says, 31.8. Gamer, 31.8, 100%. Gamer, 31.7, BP, 32, BP, right?
What was it? What weight size did you use?
I used the 34-32.
Your whole career?
My whole career.
But he never looked for the specifics of if there was a 31.15 ounces, you didn't throw it out.
No, I kept it.
Still made do.
Yeah. Okay, but did you feel the difference when you went into BP? Did you ever play around with a different bat, or were you true to your size, the weight that you liked?
You know what? I did play around sometimes. Sometimes when I felt like I was struggling, I would go down to like a 33.5-inch bat. It felt like I was losing some of the bat head at the bottom. And I feel like if I went down a little bit in inches, that half inch helped me to find the barrel a little bit more.
And we're so superstitious to the point, and we're willing to try something like that. If you're struggling right there, you reach into somebody else's bat rack and you pull one out, you go up to home plate and you get a knock, you're using this for a while.
Yeah. It's funny because as a baseball fan growing up, I remember all the gloves you guys used. I can remember the glove. Like Marquise Grissom had the huge glove. I always remember the gloves. But you guys can walk through, like you remember all your teammates' bats.
Well, when I first got called up, I played second base. Eddie Murray played first and Cal played short. So you look at those two different distinctive bats. Eddie Murray had a plethora of different bats, and I think he used mostly a 35-inch, 35 ounce. I played with Julio Franco. That was a big old pole right too, and he held it with 2 fingers on the bottom end. Junior swung a 35-inch, 33 ounce. Griffey Jr. played against him a few times, 34-31. I believe he was one of those guys that did that. But Eddie Murray, the two distinctive bats between Eddie and Cal. Eddie had a big old handle, R161. Big old head on it, 35. Sometimes he had a 35-37 if he was facing a knuckleballer.
How do you swing that?
Eddie was a large human. And Junior swung a P72, very thin-handled, and the 33 ounces all seemed to be in the head of the bat because Junior liked to go out there and buggy whip some stuff.
Yeah, your brother.
Cal.
You had to have a few at-bats with your brother's bat. You had to try a couple.
I took Juniors up there and choked up a couple times. Yeah.
You did.
I mean, you try something. Probably not. I mean, I wasn't a 300 hitter like Sean Casey was lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
We've seen some guys forced to use a teammate's bat in game. Now, what we have video of is something. It's not the game that you played in, Bill.
Right.
But you remember the same exact dynamic happening with the same two guys.
Yeah. In Texas, we challenged A-Rod on his bat. And I believe, if my memory serves me correct, Griff threw it out from the on-deck circle to A-Rod.
And the same result
right here, Baltimore right here, and Davey Johnson checking A-Rod's bat, so he used Griffey Jr.'s. Now, they happen to use a very similar model, if not the same model, and I believe both of them swung 34-31. But for the most part, when you're those guys, it's not so much the arrow. It's the Indian who uses it, so they can walk up to home plate with about anything and still rake.
Playing with Junior too, man. I think they got the wood. They got his wood from a beautiful forest, the Amazon rainforest or something. A big old trees.
Easy on the Amazon rainforest.
Is that really? Wait, that really? The quality.
The quality of the wood.
Yes.
The quality of the wood that some of the big dogs get. Was
the big leaguers
back in the day
got the primo stuff. And not only that, so why Mike Trout wants it 31.8? Because he can take it out of the rack and weigh it. And if he doesn't like it, he can toss it aside because he's got plenty more coming in.
Right.
The bad companies are falling over for people like that.
Wow.
And they get the good wood.
After your first All-Star game, did the quality of your
bats? Well, the more companies start calling you. Hey, you want to swing our bats? Yes, I do. Please. I remember talking to Dave Parker when he was in here, and being a Pirate fan, asking him, the Cobra, and Parker's a huge human being.
Yeah.
And he would talk about him and Willie Stargell. And I said, man, it looked like you guys were swinging clubs out there. What were you swinging? I think he said they were 37-37.
No way.
And sometimes they whip out the 37-40.
Come on, man.
What was his BB core?
Exactly. I have no idea.